We believe that the city of Jerusalem is the place where the Lord again will make his holy name dwell. What is so special about the city of Jerusalem, the earthly city of Jerusalem? Well, you have to delve deep in the Bible to find out what the place in God's eyes is of the city of Jerusalem. Moses, who was leading the children of Israel from Egypt, the captivity, the slavery of Egypt, to the promised land, in Deuteronomy 12, verse 5, he says, in that promised land, you are to seek the place that the Lord your God will choose from among all your tribes to put his name there for a dwelling. There would be a place where the holy name of God would dwell, but no name is mentioned. And then in verse 12, you are to bring everything I command you, your burnt offerings, your sacrifices, your tithes, your special gifts, the choice possession you have vowed to the Lord. There rejoice before the Lord your God, in the place the Lord your God will choose as a dwelling for his name. The place is so special that in Deuteronomy 16, Moses says in verse 2, sacrifice as the Passover, the Pesach lamb slaughtered for Pesach, remembering how they were set free from the slavery of Egypt, sacrifice as the Passover to the Lord your God an animal from your flock or herd at the place that the Lord will choose as a dwelling for his name. And then he even says in verse 5, you must not sacrifice the Passover in any town the Lord your God gives you in the promised land, except in the place he will choose as a dwelling for his name. There you must sacrifice the Passover in the evening, etc., etc., etc. So it's a very special place. Jerusalem, the place where God's holy name will dwell. When Solomon dedicated, much later in time, the beautiful temple in the heart of Jerusalem, on Mount Zion, he said, Lord, this is your house. I know that the heavens cannot contain you, let alone this house that I have built for you with all the gold and silver. But Lord, you asked for it, so here is your house. Please enter your house. And then the holy presence of God entered into the temple, the Shekinah glory, covered with the cloud. As it has been the case during the 40 years they went from Egypt to the promised land in the tabernacle, in the Holy of Holiest, God dwelt. His holy presence, the Shekinah, covered by the cloud, dwelt in that place. Now, by the Babylonians, the city of Jerusalem was destroyed in 587, if I'm not mistaken. The temple was destroyed. The gold and the silver was taken into captivity. The Jewish people were taken into captivity. And the prophet Ezekiel sees how first the holy presence of God, the Shekinah glory, left the temple. You can read it in Ezekiel 47. In these chapters, Ezekiel looks into the future. And then you read in chapter 43 that the angel brought him to the gate facing east, and I saw the glory of the God of Israel coming from the east. His voice was like the roar of rushing waters, and the land was radiant with his glory. The vision I saw was like the vision I'd seen in the beginning of the book at the Kebar River. I fell face down. The glory of the Lord entered the temple through the gate facing east. Then the Spirit lifted me up and brought me into the inner court, and the glory of the Lord filled the temple. So the Babylonians had destroyed Jerusalem, the city, the temple, but before they could do that, the glory of the Lord departed from the temple. You can read it in Ezekiel chapter 10, verse 18 and 19. Then the glory of the Lord departed from over the threshold of the temple, stopped above the cherubim. When I watched, the cherubim spread their wings, rose from the ground. As they went, the wheels went with them. They stopped at the entrance of the east gate of the Lord's house, and the glory of the God of Israel was above them. And then you read in chapter 11, the verses 22 and 23. Then the cherubim with the wheels beside them spread their wings, and the glory of the God of Israel was above them. The glory of the Lord went up from within the city and stopped above the mountain east of it. The mountain east of Mount Zion is Mount of Olives. So the glory of the Lord departed from the temple. Then the Babylonians could destroy the temple, took all the gold and the silver, but in the far future, Ezekiel sees how the glory of the Lord, coming from the east, again will enter into the final temple, so that God again will dwell in the midst of Israel. That's why the Jewish people are returning to Israel. This is not just about the promised land of Israel. This is not just about the chosen people of Israel, the Jewish people. This is not just about the city of Jerusalem as such. This is about the heart of Jerusalem. The heart of Jerusalem, where one day the glory of the Lord again will fill the final temple, so that from Jerusalem, peace will go into the whole world to bless the nations, so that the nations shall train for war no more.